All right, this will be a quick one, but I thought this was interesting. Somebody sent this in the Discord. It's Norm Macdonald. And I was like, oh, I don't think I want to talk about this. Like, it's you know, whatever. But then I started watching it on my own, and I was like, oh, I actually do want to watch this, because it's so funny how Norm Macdonald makes a point that sounds like edgy and almost bigoted, but ends up being massive advocacy for black people, really. And then everybody on the show melts down. It's just funny. It's a funny one. I just want to play it for you guys. So let's watch this.
Well, where does she? Is it? Are there black people there?
Oh my God!
Where's
what
the
does that have to do
925?
with it?
Well,
Why is it harder if there's black people
Because
there?
black people are generally poor, and poor people are generally dangerous.
Oh my
Wow,
God!
Jesus
Norm.
Christ.
Went there.
What? Black people are rich?
Black people span
Bro.
all the strata.
I feel like this was just like very obvious, like bait, like set up for him to say something like this, for him to like actually talk about fucking like issues in marginalized communities, which is so funny the way he brings it up.
No.
And you're saying
you
that
gotta
white
check
people
your
are
statistics.
poor and- oh
no,
my
black
God.
people are poorer than white people. You didn't know that? Are you telling me
Norm.
that you think
What
black?
I'm saying is that I try not to pigeonhole people into black
the
people
truth.
are poor, not into the truth.
What?
Listen, there's a huge ignored middle class black population out there. How dare you say black people are poor and therefore dangerous?
Because I want them to be not poor. That's why.
And really, how are you gonna? What's your plan?
My plan is to first of all admit that the black people have less money than white people, because we
Black
live in a
people,
racist
our phone number is
society.
800-400-FM97. If you'd like to talk with Norm Macdonald, I'm sure he'd love to take your call
Absolutely.
right now. Michelle, you're on the air.
I just wanted to say that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And you need
What, that black
you're
people
not-
are poor? It's
no,
hilarious.
The teacher thing, and
Oh.
you need to probably act like you're not offended by that, because first, you don't have a right to act like you're offended, and that was funny as hell. He is right.
Wait, is the person acting offended like white? Because I feel like that happens all the time. How often do you see like white people get more offended for black people than like black people get offended? I always find it to be like a little bit funny. Oh, I'm gonna die. Somebody get offended for me right now. Holy fuck. Well,
About black people being poor. You know it. I know it.
Oh
and
my
black
God,
people know
what
it.
has happened on the show?
Well, he taught us a lot today. I think moms.
Oh, it's a learning show.
Mom's
Well,
an
Wait
easy
a
job.
second. Where have
Teachers
you
an
guys
easy
been
job.
living for the last 300 years in this
Steve,
country?
you're on the air.
Normie,
Yeah, hey, baby.
hey, you were awesome on the Bob Saget roast.
Oh, thanks, man. That's nice of you to say.
You're the best all time on the roast, actually.
Oh, really?
That's sweet.
All right, hold on. Paris, you are on the air.
I think that is completely untrue.
Go on.
Not all black people are poor.
Amen.
I love it. I love how offended people get on this. Like, he didn't say that. Like, I guess in their defense, he made a pretty crass comment about how he didn't want to go somewhere because there was going to be a lot of black people. And so I think the idea was to get you emotionally invoked to tune into the conversation. But I mean, like, nothing he's saying is wrong.
Sister?
White.
Well, I didn't say that.
That's what you
No,
said.
you said
I
black
said
people
black
have
people
less money
have
than
less
white people.
money than white people.
You've
Yeah.
been to West Virginia? Because there's some white people with no money there.
Well,
Exactly.
well, okay. You're saying one black person has more money than one white person.
What
True.
about Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. What about Eddie Murphy?
You're
Yeah.
saying by and large,
You're right.
if you
You're
break it
right.
down.
You're right. Yeah, of course, black people have less money than white people.
As
Not
an
true.
average.
Not all black people have less money than white.
Oh
but he's
my
talking
God.
in.
Oh
Okay,
my
we all
God.
get what he's saying.
Listen. Guys in wheelchair. There's a guy in a wheelchair that can go faster than me in a race. But if I said guys in wheelchairs are generally slower than me, come
the
on.
way you said it was so harsh that to
Give
say,
your head a shake. Give your head a shake.
oh my God.
That's true. The way he said it was so harsh, but it's like so interesting that like sometimes we focus more on the way we feel about a topic rather than actually the actual conversation about a topic. And this happens constantly, in like so many different ways, and it always distracts from like the real conversation, which is always like so fucking okay. Well, good job, idiot.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Hey, it's Danielle from Big Brother, famously black woman.
I need my 40 acres and a mule. I need my 40 acres and a mule. But you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
Go on, Danielle.
I mean, if you think
School
about
us.
it, there's been cases where the same person will apply for a job, and at times the other race gets the higher pay. I'm just keeping it real, folks.
All right, thank you, Danielle.
Absolutely.
Chunky, you're on.
Good morning, Abnormal. How are you?
How are you, Chunky?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what about Mexicans? Are they hard workers?
Yes.
And are Jews stingy? What's the rest of it?
I don't know about that, but I know I'm stingy. This is all I know because I'm father's a Jew, he's a Jewish guy, bad father. Nothing to do with him being Jewish. So I got a little Jew in me, just like my mom did when I was conceived. Do you understand the joke? I have never made it before. Here's all I know. Okay, listen. It's an anecdote. It's a story. It's funny. back in the day, the YMCA, they would do like events. I used to go to a YMCA summer camp. Isn't it interesting that like all the people who are watching you are just like teenagers? They're like 17, but you're like 8, so you're like, wow, adult. But they're not really adults. And I remember what you would win for your prizes was candy. It was like a currency, right? And I remember I set up a small gambling network to be able to get as much candy from everybody as possible. Interesting story. Apparently, also, my mother told me this. I used to argue with the ice cream man for discounts. Like $1. So yeah, it's $1 in ice cream. Oh yeah, what if I gave you $4 for 5 ice creams? I would do this for like 15 minutes, and then eventually the guy would just give it to me because he was tired of me. Now that I'm listening to the story, my mom probably should have been a little bit better about that. No, there is a difference. There's a difference between like acknowledging systemic racism and the negative impacts that it has on black people versus, I don't know, like a compliment stereotype, I guess, because Hispanic people do work hard as fuck. It's probably cultural because fucking white people in America are lazy as shit. Don't fucking criticize me because I am a white person in America. I'm lazy as fuck. Just generally, all right. And like when it came to where I would work, the like Hispanic people were the hardest working people. That's probably because they came here and they're like, wow, like we came here from like nothing. We're gonna work hard. It's probably a cultural thing, you know. And then like, you know, very Americanized Hispanic people are lazy, just as lazy as me and you know. The difference between that, acknowledging systemic racism, and then like, you know, like an anti-Semitic trope about Jewish people, you know, being stingy with money or whatever, right? There's generally a difference between those things. I'm gonna lose so fucking bad. Holy shit.
And why don't white people have any culture in this country? And
I don't know, because we're fucking lazy. I don't know. There's no white culture. We have like Italian culture, all that other shit too.
I totally hear you about the iPod. I'm sick of all my songs too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, to sum it all up, Norm Macdonald.
Well, I'm saying that having
Try
less
to offend everyone equally.
having less money or having or not having less money is not a product of your nature. It's that you don't have the money because the white people don't give you the money.
It's actually supportive of black people to say that, actually.
707
true.
says.
Supportive of black people. I'm in
Wow.
a room of
You're saying that
racists.
to have justice.
Oh my God! The
love
415. The 415 says maybe we should
That's
educate
funny.
our children a la Lord of the Flies. Norm, just throw all the kids on an island and let them sort out their own society. I can't read that.
Yeah, that would probably be better. Yeah, I agree.
Sure, throw them in there and just let the weak be killed and the strong survive.
No, that's what. Listen, that's what we're doing as adults. That you know, we're doing that as adults.
That's kind of true. That's not even like a racial comment. That's just like in general a comment about like our society. That's when I stopped watching the video and I was like, I'm going to watch this on stream because I think it's so interesting. And I scrolled down and it said that there's a Creative Commons license, which means I'm allowed to use. I'm allowed to react. Kind of funny. But this is what I'm always talking about. People always say everything's just a joke. Everything's a joke. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. This is what I always talk about when I mean like this is how you effectively use jokes to portray particular messages. Like, hey, we do have a race problem in America. This is how you engage in the funny to show the problem. That's what it is. This is what humor is supposed to do. This is what political humor is supposed to do. Right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
We are. I just got handed a note. Do you want to keep him for the next segment? At this point, I'm not sure. I'm finding Norm to be somewhat on the offensive side.
You know what, though? I love that he's saying all this stuff and then.
Oh, this was in 2008, by the way. So this was that's actually even more impressive because I feel like we weren't having this many. We weren't really having conversations about this. But I mean, I was 18, so I was mostly just jerking off. That's real, by the way. That's a real thing. And playing Dota 2 was good at it, but I was also, you know, right. It was bad. So I was pretty ahead of his time. I think. I guess I could be wrong. You know, I was just jerking off and playing video games, so
over with a big
wasn't,
smile and
wasn't really socially engaged.
He's like, oh man, they're gonna talk about this all day.
Well, I didn't know that everyone. I thought San Francisco was a little more open than.
No, San Francisco actually
they're
isn't.
racist?
No, they're not racist.
Well, so far, by the way, most people have agreed with me.
Lindsay, you're on the air.
Hey, Norm.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, I teach 5th grade.
Whoa, pretty based.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's hard. I mean,
And black people are rich.
And I have some black kids in my class that are way richer and way smarter than some of the white kids. So.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, that's great. Okay. And some girls prefer fucking 3-inch dicks. So that means all the girls do, and that's why I get so much pussy, okay? Just kidding. They don't. Everybody laughs at me. I'm just kidding. Of course there are fucking rich black people. Of course there are well-off black people. And of course those black people aren't going to be nearly as negatively impacted by systemic racism because they have the money to combat it. Of course. 1,000%. Just having the money to combat the stereotypes alone. Right? Because that's what happens. If you make a mistake as a black person and someone puts it on social media, guess what? They're just going to line you up as another statistic. But then when like a white person does something, it's just like, they zone in on that kind of shit. You know, it really is like uphill battle. It really is more than like, generally speaking, as a white person, you're not really going to get lumped into a category of people in the real world. On the internet's like a fucking psychotic mess, but in the real world, you make a mistake, no one's going to go, fucking white person, but if a black person does look, just another black person, like it's just one of the things that happens, man. I know, I do it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
okay, well, you know what? Black people are richer than white people.
Thank you.
I made a mistake.
Thank you. John, you're on the air.
Hey, Norm.
Hey.
Hey, man, you were the greatest thing that ever happened to Saturday Night Live.
Thanks, man. That's
Yeah,
nice of you to say.
the greatest updates ever. You did Howell Letterman.
All
All right, thank you, John. All right, here's what we're going to do. What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we going to do another segment with him or not?
I almost think we have to.
Because I actually was in the audience when you know how I went to Saturday Night Live that one time?
I do, and this is one of my favorite
You did the
stories.
update.
Somebody told me, I told this before, but I had a good voice for radio. So either they're saying I have a nice voice or that I'm ugly. I have a face for radio for sure. Well,
Right, hold on, hold that thought. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Norm and his babysitter Steve will still be here, offending people left and right. Stevie Ray.
mostly just right people. Leftists or left-leaning people are like, oh yeah, he was saying is correct.
We're not offending anyone but racists.
How do you figure? To make a sweeping generalization that belittles it
It's
is.
not a sweeping generalization. It's a statistical fact, and it belittles no one. It only states a fact that I hope we can change in this country. If we're going to pretend that black and white people make the same amount of money, then nothing will ever change. Come on, you know that.
Can't we just see it as everybody?
Well, we can see it any way you want it. If you want to
Sarah's
pretend.
looking for some
If you want to live in a fantasy world.
I am.
And you're not going to find it.
No, there's not a clean out.
You're digging.
I'm
You're digging
breaking.
deeper and
We'll
deeper.
be back. Alice at 97.3, Norm Macdonald, and Stevie
Is this going to be a DMC8 song?
Ray Fromstein are sitting in here with us.
The texts are great.
Yes. And thanks for the phone calls, too, 800-400-FM97. You can talk to Norm if you like. All right, our text number is 25423. You can call us at 800-400-3697. A text from the 650. I'm a black woman, and Norm is right and hysterical. Sarah, you're living in a fantasy land if you think we're all equals.
Based? What does this person look like? What does Sarah look like? Sarah and Vinnie show. Vinnie? Oh, God. So many Italians everywhere. It's like I don't even get it. I don't understand it. It's because of those damn movies. Joe Pesci. This is them. Okay. This is actually this is what I thought of when I was like, this is Portlandia before Portlandia. That's who the very white people. This is what I should have assumed when I heard Sarah and Vinnie. This is what came to my mind. Just like if you say like, what's a racist sound look like, and like you look me, right? This is the first thing that comes to mind. Then that's what I look like, but I'm not. I'm not a conservative racist. Progressive racist.
Bill 5 says, rude. I'm a second grade teacher and I hate you.
Rude. That sounds like a second grade teacher.
No, Jimmy, that was just rude.
That's actually an interesting point, though. Like second grade, this is like I know my mind goes into weird areas, but like imagine being a second grade teacher. You're obviously like a 22-year-old woman, and you're because that's second grade teachers are just young women. I just feel like that's a fact. I don't know. And you're talking to kids all day, right? You're grooming kids to be bright, productive, functioning members of society. But I feel like you take that home with you. You know what I mean? It's like when you work at McDonald's and you just take home the smell, right? You take home talking to kids all day, and then you start talking to like everyone in your life like a kid. This is stupid. Don't say that word. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it would be so annoying dating a second grade teacher. Oh my god, it just feels like how do you relate to that person? You know, what do you fucking talk about? It's a real question. It's an interesting question.
Can you think of another way to say that?
To be a second grade teacher, you just have to be smarter than a second grade student. That's about the only thing you have to be.
Oh.
Yeah, basically you need third grade intelligence. To teach second grade, you know everything that they need to know.
That's true, I guess.
A fourth grade teacher, if you're
Hey,
a
here's
third
a
grade teacher,
question.
you need fourth grade.
Here's a question.
I don't
for
want
you.
any more of your questions.
No.
No.
Why do I always hear this from women?
Okay, what?
That women make less money than men.
I don't believe that that's true
racist.
in every case, and I don't believe that is.
In every case. It's like they're intentionally missing the point. First of all, this was in 2008, so things were a little different. Even today, there's a slight differential between male and woman pay after you factor in everything like time worked and you know, vacations earned. So it's like 1%, right? But like the overall point is like, how come there's like some kind of there's a difference? It was greater years ago. That's 15 years ago. Wow, 2008. Holy fuck. Oh, wow, I'm fucking old. Yeah, this is what generalizations work. That's why you have general conversations when you're talking about all of society, because you can't hyper-focus on one person.
Of course, not
Racist.
true in every case.
Not true for me.
Yeah, no, that's not the case in this room.
I think things are
Exactly.
changing, and I
See-
think that when it
see,
comes
I
to
think-
racism, things are changing
I think
too.
that black
I'm
lady.
trying to look for the positive.
I think that black lady made a good point. That
Which
you,
one? That I'm
I think
living
her
in
name was
fantasy
Ruth.
land?
That you're living in a fantasy land because the black people that you encounter probably make a lot of money.
That's actually a really good point.
707 on a text says, I wish I was a fly on the wall during that last break. I think I heard Sarah yelling at Norm up here in Healdsburg.
I wasn't yelling.
Every black
No,
person I
Sarah-
interview in this program has lots of money.
Well, it's very clear that they were very upset with him if they passed her a note if they wanted to keep him on the show.
Wow.
No, she actually said she was wrong during the
Yeah,
break.
which never has
No,
happened.
I said
ever.
what I said was, I'll just say I'm wrong. Let's take a couple of calls here. Actually, a couple texts. If you only need third grade intelligence to teach second grade, I wonder what Norm would say about me, a preschool teacher.
Well, it's kind of obvious.
And the 503 says, Norm, thanks for Dirty Work. Still one of the greatest movies ever.
What do I need to teach children how to nap?
Nina, you're on
So
Ambien. I
stupid.
think.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hi.
Good, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, the status in the society today is white man, black white woman, black woman.
You think that's the
how-
hierarchy?
That is the hierarchy. I actually been doing HR and statistical analysis for 13 years, and the perfect example of that is they're going to elect a black African-American president before they elect a white woman or black woman African.
That is true. That's true. He is half white though, you know, so he gets the pass. He gets the mayonnaise pass, right? So
President.
I
mean,
agree.
that's a
I
good
agree.
example right there.
you got
I
it
agree
right.
completely with what she's saying. That
In some ways, it depends. But I get what she's saying.
hierarchy is exactly right.
So no matter what, if
Exactly.
you're a man, you're at an advantage, and no matter
Yeah,
what,
I
if you're a
mean,
woman, black or white, you're at a disadvantage.
women
Yeah, pretty much. Like things are changing, but like yes, true. I mean, just fucking biologically, you can't walk alone at night. That's huge. All right, that means you have to pay for an Uber, and then you probably might. And then if you get a guy in the Uber, you might get harassed. It's not safe to be a woman. Oh my god. Ask any married man if it's safe to be a woman. And they'll say, no, I won't let my wife do anything. No. Are you kidding? Never. I'm a controlling husband. I'm not controlling. Never would let my wife walk. One time my wife did. I fell asleep. My sleep schedule was off. And my wife wanted to go for a walk to exercise, and she went, and it was dark out, and she came home, and she said, I went for a walk, and I said, never, you're never going to do that again. I got angry at her. And you might be like, wow, that's controlling. No, it's not. I don't want my wife to get hurt. No, yeah. This just sucks, man, to be a woman. Bro, this is crazy. You have a baby. A guy, I basically just, men take their nutsack, they twist it off, and they just pour cum into a woman. That's it. That's it. And then she has to ruin her body to grow it. And then she fucking pisses it out. And all women shit when they give birth. Is a fact. They just shit. There's no controlling it. They just shit. and then their vagina gets ripped. And have you seen it? What happens if they need to cut your vagina? My wife showed me. God bless women. This is bananas. This is a peach. Okay, let's say that this is the opening of the peach. This is the peach pit. Bro, they just do a cut right here. Like a big cut, that big. To make it bigger. So that a baby's fucking head. My head was wider than my shoulders. I almost destroyed my mother's pelvis coming out. Insane. Actually almost broke my mother's pelvis. It's fucking wild. And then they stitch you up, and then if a guy is a real sexist, they'll say, can you add an extra stitch? Horrible. 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 Just so that the woman's tighter. Because even though this bitch even though this a beautiful woman pushed your immortality out of their body. Because that's what a kid is to me. It's my immortality. That's the only thing I have that will live longer than me is my teachings to my kid and to my kid's kid, etc. A woman pushes out your immortality, and some guys are like, just can you put an extra stitch in there for my penis to feel better? What is wrong with you? And then like 10 years later, a woman's bladder just falls out. It kind of just prolapses. This is like a common thing for women. They're like, sometimes it kind of comes out of their vagina. This is real. We like to talk about how like men have struggles, 1000%. Women just have it worse. That's insane. It's insane. It's fucking crazy. And then they have the kid, and so like then they have a kid. This person carries your baby for 9 months. They lose part of their autonomy if they're going to keep it. Like, they're more incentivized to eat better, do restrictive for eating, restrictive for movement, restrictive for this, that, and the other thing. And they push the baby out. And the guys, you know what men do? Men are like, they go to work, they come home. Did you cook and clean yet? You just had a body trauma. Did you make dinner tonight? Right? Give your wife like a month or two to recover. No. Right? No, I don't think so. You know what? You'll break your arm, and like any guy will break their arm. Anybody, they'll break your arm, and you'll be like, "Hi, sorry, I can't do anything for a couple months." But if a woman pushes a fucking human being out of her, it's like the next day you're home, you just shit yourself in the hospital. You're covered in stitches. You've had a body trauma. I'm horny. When's dinner? I think women have it hard. It's kind of rough, man. I'm so happy to be a man. I'm not even kidding. I'd re-up on this shit fucking one-on-one. This guy's upset that I'm talking about how hard women have it. He says, I think this non-tent channel sucks. I'm out. Listen, bro, you're just upset. You're just upset, dude, that you ruined your mother's vagina. That's your fucking problem, bro. That's your problem, bro. I'm just telling you, women have it rough, dude. It's something to think about. If you're uncomfortable, you know what? Try being a woman. I couldn't even imagine bleeding once a month. That's horrible. Getting cramps? No, thank you. This is not even terrible. It's too inconvenient. It's crazy. No, thank you. Okay? No, thank you. Let's continue.
We do everything and we get no credit, we get no pay. You got to go out there and get it. I mean, I get my money because I.
Oh, this person said no idea what you're talking about. I was a C-section. Guess what? Your mother still has an eternal scar and scar tissue because of you. Okay. You have 3 kids. You're good. Okay. I don't think you're a woman. I think you're a troll, which is just another word for an ugly woman, right? Okay, let's move on.
Act like a guy. When I'm asking for
all right, we'll go back.
No matter what, if you're a man, you're at an advantage, and no matter what.
Not no matter what, but like generally speaking.
If you're a woman, black or white, you're at a disadvantage.
We do everything and we get no credit, we get no pay. You got to go out there and get it. I mean, I get my money because I act like a guy when I'm asking for a raise, and women ought to start doing that, you know.
She's actually based. She's 100% right. Women don't advocate for themselves enough, and part of it's because we teach women not to advocate for themselves. So if you want to get a raise as a woman, you need to advocate for yourself. People might call you a bitch or whatever, but you got to just roll with the punches, and then you will have a higher chance of succeeding. If you want to dominate. If you want to be like it's a man's world, baby. You got to act like a man if you want to go somewhere. My mom is a very masculine woman. and she was very successful. So that's what you got. You got to do it. You just have to do it. So
Show me the money.
Now, let's all do the Cuba Gooding Jr. dance.
Yeah,
Show me the money.
absolutely.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Nina.
Absolutely.
Let's start our own movement, shall we?
You got it. And by the way, the hardest job
Spurred
in the
on
world
by
is-
Norm
is-
Macdonald.
The hardest job in the world is HR because I have to deal with squirrely people on a daily basis.
fuck you. HR is the worst people in the world. They don't exist to help you. They exist to help the company while making you feel like they're there for you.
Squirrely.
All right, thanks, Nina. Hey, thank you. Laura, you're on. People who don't want to
Squirrely.
come out and say
Hi,
what they think.
everyone. Hi there.
Hi,
I just
Laura.
wanted to give some love to Norm, put all the intense talk aside because
I know, he's so
Norm is
bitchy
just
today,
hilarious.
isn't he?
It's not intense. He's smiling and laughing,
I know.
and sitting back and laughing as Sarah just turns bright red.
I know. That's why I don't understand why people get so upset when he's just making observations of what he sees in daily life.
All right, thank you. 925 says,
And the facts, of course, too.
this show's great. Norm is so freaking funny from The Working Mom.
Oh.
So I think means she's
They're getting grilled on their own show. It's so funny.
mom and works.
That's tough, boy.
Nagy, you're on the air. It says here being a teacher, super duper hard work.
Yeah, you know,
Did I miss something? Why the fuck are they talking about teachers so much? I don't really. Maybe that was a different segment.
I was an attorney for several years. I went to Bolt Law School, and I quit being an attorney to be a teacher. And being
Why?
a teacher is much more difficult work.
Is it super duper hard?
That's what it says here.
You know, I did not say super duper hard. That was either a human.
Yeah, Human put that in your subject
or
line.
there.
And one final thing
Why is-
here. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask her why it was such hard work. But
No, I
she's
hung
not.
up on her, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jeff, you're on.
That's
You did
not
the last
nice.
word.
Yeah, hi.
I guess that's why, because if she was a lawyer, you wouldn't have hung up on her. I don't know what the fuck.
Norm.
Hey, Jeff.
Big fan.
Oh,
Big
thanks.
fan ever since. Used to love your sitcom even. I was sad to see it go.
He said, "I used to love your sitcom." Even I don't remember a sitcom, but it probably didn't do well. So the way he said it is like, "I even loved your sitcom." It's fucking terrible. I'd sit through it, but it was terrible. But I loved it. I love you.
Oh, my favorite line on that was, "But you're a huge whore." And I was wondering, were you a voice on The Family Guy?
Is our little catchphrase?
Yeah, he was the fucking death on Family Guy. No,
Yeah, I did play Death on the Family Guy.
who did it first? Was it him or Adam Carolla? Was it Adam Carolla first? Isn't it crazy how Adam Carolla went like super annoying right winger and Jimmy Kimmel went super annoying left winger, right? And then they used to do this awesome show called The Man Show. You guys don't remember The Man Show. I do. Because I used to jerk off to it. If I was a kid, I'd fucking jerk off to The Man Show. When did they even come out with it? The Man Show. It was created in 1999. It was just, I would just stay up late and put on fucking Channel 50 at the time, I think, because that was Comedy Central on my fucking little box TV, and I just fucking go at it. I didn't give a shit. I did so well in school. My mom let me have a TV in my room. I did a good student until I dropped out. That was a different. The show was just boobs. It was incredible. I don't fucking care anymore. Then things just went. It just went to such a weird area. What happened? I think Joe Rogan took over the Man Show at a certain point.
The 415 says, Sarah is an uptight bitch living in fantasy land, keeping her cool because Norm is there, but if were anyone else, she'd be throwing her usual fit. Norm rules.
Oh my god.
And on
Sarah,
that
you do look a little like you're about to.
I know. I
You
get
do look
mad.
a little restrained.
Well,
but you're
unfortunately-
passionate. You're passionate, and that's what makes you so attractive to me sometimes.
Really?
I fucking love Norm. This is so funny.
It is. You have a lot
I'm
of
all
passion.
bundled up today, too.
But I can tell you got passion.
All right, listen, Norm and Steve.
This is our first fight.
I'm kicking you guys out of here now. We actually have to break here at Tommy T's all weekend long.
sweet,
It is
yeah.
great to see you.
Oh,
Next
you
time,
too.
I'll be more prepared for your stunning statements that just came out of left field.
Well, it's a left wing
I have
talking
to say,
point.
I get so pissed because I can
Are you
feel...
going to rethink it now that everybody agrees with me in the
No,
world?
I'm not going to rethink it at all.
You're not gonna,
Based.
You know what? I try
She's
not
going to
think
have
of
a
people
better
in a-
argument next time.
Yes,
is
that's
what
right.
it'll
I'm going to
be.
fight this fight mentally for the next 6 months.
Okay. Well, I just thought that was an interesting clip someone sent me, so I wanted to watch it.